Hello, I am so excited. These are the most colorful toes I have read in a very, very long time. I love your style. Um, just super cute. Love the beautiful toenail polish you've got going on, and clearly you care about your feet and your toes. And I know that this is part of your business, so I want to be able to share some information with you about your toes and especially how this applies to your purpose. So let's start with just the energies of the feet. Your right foot is the way that you present externally, it's the way that others receive you, it is all the things outside of you and the way that you interact and move through the world. The left side is all about you internally, your connection with source, the way that you take action, talk to yourself, all of those things internal. So right is external, left is internal. And then your toes each have specific energies. So your left big toe is your spirit path, and your right big toe is your life path. Then your second toes are communication and expression. Your third toes are action. Your fourth toes are relationships, and your fifth toes are trust and prosperity. And so each of those energies is represented in your toes. Your toes let you know where you are right now in life, shows you where you've been. And from that, you can determine a trajectory based on that. But that's one of the things that I love the most about toe reading is knowing where you are right now and the direction that you're headed can help you know, is this where I want to, is the trajectory of this energy where I want to go? Or do I need to do some shifts, big shifts or small shifts to get where I actually want to go on my path in life? So when I look at your toes, one of the first things that I see is there's a lot of symmetry going on in your toes. And so this symmetry just indicates that who you are is what you present. Like when people see you and receive you, they're getting the true story. You're not trying to pose or hide anything. And so that is really spectacular, especially in the world where we live, where so many people are trying to present something that they are not. And that's not your style. That's not what you do. So that's really beautiful. The other thing is congratulations on taking such good care of your toes. They appear to be very supple and nice and straight. There is some blocked energy in these toes, and that's one of the things that I would like to address when I'm looking at your toes. So we're going to start by talking about your life path toe. So that's this toe right here, the big toe on your right foot. And so you can see it comes up here nice and straight. Your nail is nice and straight. The toe and the top of the nail is slightly tilted toward toward the past. And so a question to ask yourself here is, what are you looking to in the past that gives you some sense of stability or comfort? And that doesn't necessarily mean it was something that you loved. You know, sometimes comfort isn't always just because everything is so happy and awesome. Sometimes comfort is just familiarity, even if it's actually not very awesome at all. And so examining both, what do you look to the past that you might have some feelings of nostalgia about, or what do you look to the past and wish was different? And then focus on just releasing that and being in the present. So that's what this toe is mostly saying, is it's not quite present. And so doing some grounding exercises, especially just walking barefoot. If you're able to walk barefoot outside, that is a beautiful grounding practice to do. Just setting your feet on the ground and then doing a grounding practice where you're coming through your body, down through your root chakra, down through your legs and into your feet and out into your toes and connecting to the earth. I'm not sure what your familiarity is with the chakra system. It's something that we can definitely talk about if you don't have a lot of familiarity around it. Usually we talk about the seven chakras that are within our physical body. So chakras are energetic centers, and we talk about the 7 that are within our energetically within our physical body. And we also have a chakra that sits beneath the earth, beneath our feet. It's called the earth chakra. And so if you imagine just a beautiful ball of light, and it doesn't really matter what color, mine happens to be a really deep kind of brownish red color, like a really rich earthy color, and radiant. And just imagine grounding into that earth chakra, and then that earth chakra grounds all the way down into the earth mother. So that would be very good. And just presence, being present. We're going to skip over here to your birth chart. You had an unknown birth time, so all these little slices of pie, we're not going to talk about that very much. But what we are going to talk about is some of the things that show up in your birth chart. And if having an astrological reading is right for you, please know that I would love to go more into depth on your astrological chart. So you've got your sun here at 0 degrees of Taurus. Literally, if you would have been born just a little bit of a different time, this chart I set for midnight on the day of your birthday. So if you would have been born just one day earlier, then you would have, at 11:57 the previous night, your sun would be in Aries. But no, you waited until the day that you were born, and you came into this earth at 0 degrees of Taurus. So Taurus is very present. Taurus is very grounded and earthy. And so really leaning into that Taurus energy. Taurus loves the finer things in life, loves comfort. Some of the pictures of your feet and toes that you sent clearly show that you value comfort, that you value luscious, sensual things. So really leaning into that and being very present in that is really going to help you on your life path to be directed and focused. A lot of times, there's so many options on our life path. And by that groundedness and that focus, you're going to be able to focus in on exactly where you want to go, because you have a lot of Aries energy. This little sign that the horns that come down that looks like this, you've got a lot of Aries energy. And considering that your sun is just barely into Taurus, just think about this fiery, passionate energy of Aries. So Aries likes to see something and go after it. Aries represents passion. You're passionate about your work. Your moon sign shows that this is your internal motivators. These are your non-negotiable needs. So this fiery passion, this moving forward, this trailblazing, being a pioneer in new and different ways. And based on the little that I know about your business, this is you, like moving forward in a way that is unique, that is relatively new in the space that you want to move forward in. And that passion combined with this sun sensuality in Taurus, I think is just a very, very good combination for your life path and business. And the key to that is going to be being grounded. You can also, when you're putting lotion on your toes or whatever, kind of self-care you're giving to your feet and toes, just gently push, like stabilize right here. If you see my hand, stabilizing right there on that toe, and then gently pushing this top, massaging this direction. So from this corner up to this corner, just inviting the energy to move. So it's not bending this way, but this way. And remember, this isn't necessarily about your toes shifting isn't for, the sake of toes shifting. It's for the sake of the energetic shifting of the energy. And then this toe will be more grounded and more aligned with your life purpose. And if you are able to find your time of birth, we can definitely talk more about life purpose, because that would show up in the information that I don't have, because we don't have your time of birth. Okay, your spirit path toe. A lot of the same themes going on here, just a little bit more groundedness. It comes up here nice and straight. and then it starts to bend. And so same action, gently stabilizing here while you gently massage and invite the energy to move this way. So that the top of that toe on both toes just becomes a little bit straighter and more aligned. Now, some questions to ask here are on your spirit path, like what does that look like for you? What does your spiritual path look like for you? And I want to show you on your chart some interesting things. So in the sign of Pisces, Pisces rules the feet and toes. Everything in our world has a planetary and a zodiac sign ruler. That just it's just where that energy is. And Pisces rules the feet and toes. So Pisces is this sign right down here on the very bottom of your chart. That's two curves going in with a line through it. That is Pisces. Now, you don't have any planets in the sign of Pisces, which is absolutely fine. And what it means is you get to really determine what does that look like. Now, Pisces is also a very spiritual sign, and Pisces is the sign of oneness, of transcendence, of connection. And so knowing that you get to largely determine what this looks like in your life, your spirit path toe is, what does spirituality look like for you? Does it look like connectedness and oneness with the earth, with humanity? Do you want to connect deeply with your clients, with your followers? That's a lot of Pisces energy there. And so it would really be beneficial for you to just shift the energy slightly in this toe so that it is more aligned, so greater spiritual alignment. And then here's the other beautiful thing that's going to happen. This space between your first and second toe, that is the channel of intuition. And so as you align this life path and this spirit path toe so that they are a little bit straighter, and again, it's not for the sake of the toes being straight, it's for what the toes will then be communicating as far as what's happening on life path and what's happening on spirit path, and getting that more aligned is going to open up this channel of intuition, which is just going to help you on all levels, help you in your life path, help you in your relationships, help you with your health, help you in your business, all the things. That intuitive power will just open up significantly. Next, when we look at your communication and expression toes, so these are very, I like the flexibility. You are flexible, you are adaptive. That's really, really awesome. If we look over here at your chart, you've got Mars in Taurus. Mars moves a little slower in Taurus. Mars likes to move fast. Taurus likes to move slow. So just realize that you can move slowly and sensually and just really enjoy all the sensual pleasures in this life. It is part of your birthright to stretch into the desire to move very quickly and passionately and with fire, to also embracing the time to move slow, the time to just be present. So with your Mars here in Taurus, just allowing yourself to be flexible and adaptable. Now, Mercury is this little purple planet there. Mercury rules this toe. And so you've got Mercury in Aries. So you've got a very direct way of speaking. You can speak for what you desire. And it appears that most of the time that you do that, if you ever find these toes starting to point down in any way, this would indicate to you that you're coming up against a block. Coming up against that block that is keeping you from fully expressing and communicating. And if you feel like you're ever coming up against a block in the way that you communicate and express, it's going to show up in this toe. Time tracks in the toes from the most recent here in the nails back to early life and even before you came into this lifetime as we get closer to the toe. And so If you ever observe that these toes are pointing down, that can indicate some pessimism, feeling blocked, feeling trapped, like you cannot express. And so identifying how do you want to express? These are very, very Aries toenails. Your tattoo, I love it because it's got the lotus flower, which is very Piscean, which rules the feet and toes, but also very Taurus because Taurus loves the earth and loves the pleasures of the earth. And then you've got these stripes on your toes, which just say Aries all over the place. So you're really what I call embodying your essence brand in what you've got going on with your toes. So keeping an eye on these toes, and then these toes, they do have a little bit of blocked energy. And it would surprise me if they didn't have some because of your very Aries, very fiery way of communicating and expressing and going after. That is not something that is always appreciated in our culture. So I'm sure you have come up against that wall that just wants to stop you, but you're not having it. So congratulations, you're not having it. And then just gently rub those toes. So putting the toe between your index finger and your thumb and just gently rubbing it, always pushing energy towards the end of the toe so it can just be released, go down into the earth and be renewed. Now, you've got a connection point that's higher, significantly higher in your communication and action toes. So this means you are a person that your actions and your words must be aligned. If they're not, it's going to cause dis-ease in your body. So this is one of the things that made me really happy when I saw your feet. And this connection point that's higher is that what you see is what you get with you. All right. Because your toes are very similar in the way that they look. So your walk's got to be your talk and your talk's got to be your walk. These things need to be aligned. If you ever start to observe a separation of these toes or a pointing down of both toes or anything like that, just a question to ask yourself is, where am I not aligning in what I'm saying and what I'm doing? Those two things need to be aligned. And so Mars, like we talked about on your birth chart, is the ruler of your action toe. These are your action toes. So I want you to just take a look here and just a moment. When I have these yawns, it is your energy body relaxing because it's been seen and it's been acknowledged. As I do this reading, I am connected to your energetic body. And so when I have that yawn, it is a release. It is a letting go because the things that I am channeling for you are hitting home with your soul, with your essence. And your essence is going, yes, I'm seen, I'm acknowledged, and now the light has been shined on this spot that may have previously been in the dark, and now we've shined the light on it. So when we look at your action toes here, of all of your toes, these are the most different as far as context from each other. And again, there's no good or bad, there's no comparison. It's simply contextually that we look at them. So this right toe, this is the way that you move through this world. You are a go-getter. Like when you set your mind to something, you're all in. You are an all in, go big, go home kind of person. And it shows up in this toe, like go big or go home. You're doing the thing. And you will especially do it if you know that people are depending on you for it. So you've got an appointment, you've got followers, you've got clients, you've got someone else that you care about, you've got your buddies, at different outings that you may do. So you'll do it, especially if you've got a commitment to someone else or others are depending on you. Now, when it comes to yourself, it's a little bit of a different story. Sometimes you don't keep commitments to yourself. Now, please realize that this is extraordinarily common. In fact, it's the most common way of responding to expectations. There's a book that I'm recommending to everyone. It's called The Four Tendencies, and it's by Gretchen Rubin, and it discusses the ways that different people respond to expectations. And so responding because you've got an external motivator is the most common way of responding to an expectation. And yet it's a little bit villainized, like, oh, can't you do this for yourself? I'm not saying that you can't, but I'm asking you to and more importantly, your toes are asking you to just look at where are you not keeping commitments to yourself, and can you step that game up? Rub this toe like we talked about with the communication toes. Just rub that toe and ask, where am I not showing up for myself? What is the action I can take now that will be beneficial for me? Now, Aries girl, and I'm calling you Aries girl. I'm not sure what your pronouns are, so I hope calling you girl is okay. Aries girl, you've got all this Aries energy in you, including your moon, which is a very important part of your chart. You've got these action toes. Action is a huge part of your life. Next Tuesday, March 21st of 2023, is the Aries new moon. And we can talk more about this if you want to, but just mark that date mentally in your mind. That new moon energy is going to be very, very powerful manifestation energy for you. And so I invite you to really look at that. And again, this is something that we can talk about at length. I have a whole business called Work with the Moon, where that's the focus. We focus on the energies of the moon. And because I know that Aries full moon is, or Aries new moon is coming up for you, and you've got all this Aries energy, especially right here with some of this blocked energy where you want to take action for yourself, but you're not always doing it, discovering where that is. So this is one of the top messages for this reading, is releasing this energy so that you are taking action and holding commitments to yourself as sacredly as you are holding commitments to others. All right, and taking action on those. Your relationship toes. Okay, these relationship toes, I would love to talk more with you about your relationships when it's right for you. These relationship toes show a high level of evolution in the way that you have relationships. So I don't know if this is something that you were born with or something that you learned through trial and error, or maybe you had really great mentors, or maybe you had a lot of counter examples of what not to do. But these toes show a high level of personal evolution in relationships. There is some blocked energy that is not unusual at all for relationship toes, especially because we carry a lot of generational things into our relationships. And so just some gentle massage on these so that you can connect even more deeply, more passionately with the people that you desire to connect to. And this is the range of relationships from close romantic partnerships to unknown followers. No matter what, we want this connection with people. And these relationship toes show you the way for you to connect at that deeper level. If we look over here at your chart, your Venus is in Aries, and Venus in Aries is very passionate. It's an all-in kind of energy. Aries is a sign where when they give their heart to someone, like it's the go big or go home kind of energy. And with your Venus that rules these toes, these relationship toes, that is very important for you, especially in the work that you're involved in connecting deeply with people. So massage these toes and ask them questions. Like you're going to ask this action toe questions. How can I connect more deeply? What is blocking me from deeper connection with people? And you could even use specific names or groups of people in your world. These last toes, these are your prosperity and trust toes. And so trusting yourself is an important part of who you are. Please continue to have that confidence, that trust in yourself, and also trust that you are worthy of all of the prosperity that the universe has to offer you. And prosperity can look like finances and wealth, which is the way we normally think of it, but it can also be a prosperity in relationships, a prosperity in health, a prosperity in opportunity. You are worthy of all of that goodness. Keep trusting yourself. And as you do the work here on these spirit path and life path toes, that intuition coming in, making sure that you trust that, that's going to be such a beautiful thing for you in your life. On this toe, this is also your trust and prosperity toe, and you have experienced some violations of your trust, some betrayals of your trust. You've responded very well, like you have healed at a very deep level, and there is still some blocked energy in this toe. Ooh, that toe feels acknowledged. That toe feels acknowledged in that energetic release, the energy of trust. So gently massage this toe, especially up here. This has been something that's not new. You've experienced it when you were a child, and you've experienced it in this last third of your life. Just massage those toes. See if there's any crunchiness or grittiness in that. That's energy that just has found a place there and is stuck. And so releasing that energy. And as you do that, again, these relationships that you have with others are going to become richer. They're going to become more aligned, and you're going to get more satisfaction and joy from it. And your prosperity and your trust. So receiving that prosperity. My cat rarely jumps up here for Astro toe readings, and so he really likes your toes too, which I think is adorable. He feels your beautiful, beautiful, warm and safe energy. So top messages are massage this fifth toe here. See if there's any grittiness or blocked energy in that toe. Massage these relationship toes with the intention of just releasing any blocked energy that you have in there so that you can have even deeper connection. Massaging this action toe so that you have a clearer idea of what are the actions that it's time for you to take for you. And then we talked quite a bit about your spirit path and your life path. And just so you know, spirit path is slightly less aligned than life path. And you can see this because this line here of this toe has a trajectory of more looking to the past. This one goes straight up. And so both of these toes could use a little bit of aligning as far as life path and spirit path. If you are in a rush or you need to pick one, this spirit path toe is going to be the one to choose for that. So I hope that this has been enlightening for you, empowering for you. That's what I truly desire for people, is to feel empowered with the knowledge and the messages that your toes and your chart have to share with you. And please let me know if you have any questions at all. I'd be glad to have deeper conversations with you. Thank you so much, Diva Goddess.